Testing mic check 1 2 1 2. We are back again. Boop, 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 boop. It is my favorite time of the week. If you didn't already know, this is another edition of Scattered Thoughts where Sky, gives you 10 minutes. I shoot for 10 minutes. We've just been so across the board these days, but I'm going to get my thoughts out and we're going to keep it going. But in between the longer form videos and guides and walkthroughs, what I like to do every Thursday is provide you with some of my scattered thoughts in the form of notes that I take throughout the week as I'm playing the game. And, we get into some good discussion in the comment section. Now, I know I'm still behind on responding to folks' comments, but hear me out. I'm going to get to y'all. We'll get to the comments. There's some troll comments in there, but I have seen folks' comments. I just need the brain space to actually like sit down and answer and respond to folks. But I really do appreciate folks getting into discussion on the various videos. We've actually put out a number of videos since Lightfall dropped, which I'm proud of myself of just staying on track and putting out content and not trying to be perfect. Although some of my videos, I wish I would have taken, this out or added that in, so on and so forth. But, appreciate everyone for hanging in there. All right, let's get into the discussion for today. So I wanted to specifically follow up on the conversation that we had. I don't know how long ago it was. I'm not even going to try and think. But one of my notes that I had this week that I want to talk about was skill-based matchmaking and its role in the game. So we already put out a video a long time ago, I think like 2 seasons ago, 1 season ago, whatever, about skill-based matchmaking inside of Destiny 2. That was more so from the perspective of it had just happened or there had just been some more significant shifts from Bungie. And so now the community was just kind of adjusting and trying to figure out where do we go for next. Now it's coming more from the perspective of being in a space that we've had skill-based matchmaking to varying degrees, loose, quote unquote, skill-based matchmaking in the game. Fireteam matchmaking is in the game. So there's all these different ways that we're getting match made inside of comp or non-comp PvP inside the game. And for me, just a couple reflection points I wanted to share. Unlike other videos, it's not so much question, it's more so I just have thoughts and, hoping y'all don't troll me because I just have thoughts. I'm just a human. I play the game and I enjoy talking with you all. But one of the first thoughts that I had was currently right now, in giving context, the context being that we just came out of our first weekend of Trials. So originally it was supposed to be Iron Banner, then Trials, but there's some weird stuff going on with the game. People were unnecessarily going invisible, so on and so forth. So Bungie decided to fix that. So Iron Banner is live now this week that we're recording, but the previous weekend we did have Trials. Okay, cool, got it. So we have Trials. I go into Trials periodically just because the loot's cool, the armor's cool, all these different things. But specifically because there's all this buzz happening, and this buzz happening like in a faster way than normal does around the new SMG you could get. So again, the previous SMG that you could get, Shire's Wrath, really good SMG. I heard about it, went into Trials, just grinded my life out. Never got flawless, but I ended up getting a decent role in the weapon, and it served me well. Then it was the era of Ikelos, which Ikelos was just a really solid SMG and still is. And then now we have the new SMG called the Immortal. I was like, what? I'm seeing all these, verse some thoughts. I'm seeing all these clips and then I'm like, what? Oh my God. I see people just like shred through like PvE, shred through PvP. Just like, oh, okay, this is probably a weapon worth getting as someone who plays more in-game content. If this is something, especially because it's a kinetic strand weapon that I could put into a strand build, it's worth chasing. So I throw myself into Trials. Again, they have taken out the freelance note, which I typically would do freelance Iron Banner, freelance Trials, just because I personally, my experience, have better experiences in those slots in terms of the people I get matched up with. But the struggle with this round of Trials, I don't know what it is with their matchmaking system currently. And I know they're just like, oh, we're trying to match up solos with other solos, but more often than not, I was not getting matched up with, you would have to go back and look at the exact numbers, but a lot of the times I was getting matched up in the Trials matches on my team as a solo, on my team, I was getting matched up with duos, not other solos. So we already had that bias that like duos are attracting other duos or three stacks. And then on top of that, a lot of our opponents were three stacks. A lot of our opponents were groups that either three stacks or had duos in a solo. So rather than being a scenario where, again, Bungie today just released some information, or this week or whenever they released it, saying that, you know, like, oh, this was like the highest percentage of solos, all solos matching with all solos, you know, on your team and the competitive team. I don't know who those teams were. It wasn't my team. I don't know what luck I had with connections, based matchmaking, the fire team based matchmaking, but it just wasn't happening for me because I was getting not only matched up with duos, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but the fact that we, with that dynamic, attracted a lot of three stacks. Again, I played throughout the weekend. I think the only day I didn't play was Sunday. So yeah, I played a bit on Monday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, I think Sunday was the only day I didn't play Trials. And every time it was a very similar phenomenon. Now, were there times where I got matched up with other solos? Yes, but in my experience, it was much less frequently than Bungie is saying in their data. Not saying that Bungie are a bunch of liars. Not saying that, but again, mine was maybe just an outlier instance. Anyways, what does this have to do with skill-based matchmaking? Well, the fact is, like, most of our games very clearly were people who had already gone flawless. And again, there's a number of ways you can find out people have gone flawless, but mainly because we were getting matched up with people who already had the adept version of the immortal, the SMG, and you can only get that by going flawless. We had people who had adept the immortal SMG, so we knew we went flawless. They were high tier players, players who just playing like really great. And again, this is nothing. I'm not dogging these players, right? I can admit when I'm not good at something. These are just people that are like better at the game than I was, and that they were better at the game than my teammates were. And just being in a space where it's just like, I never found any sort of relief in this new system that Bungie has set up around trying to match up based on fire team, the skill variances, all these different things. Where for me, I go to other games like Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone, because again, they are very secretive, so they don't have a lot of information out there, but they do have a form of skill-based matchmaking in there, where whether I'm going into resurgence quads, trios, duos, solo, whether I'm going into the DMZ activity, whatever I'm doing, when I'm going into these activities, whether just the regular playlist or whether I'm trying to do ranked, is the fact that I actually feel like I'm playing people at my skill level. Do I get outplayed? Yeah, sure, it happens, but also I'm not stuck sitting there in a feeling of just like, I just can't make any shots. I can't like kill anybody. I can't like do anything in the game. I just like, I'm terrible. And for me, and again, I'm saying that I don't have that feeling when I'm playing Warzone. And again, I know Warzone and Call of Duty folks have a lot of different experiences. But for me, I enjoy that feeling that I get in Warzone because I'm playing people who are at or above my skill level. Even when I lose or our team loses, I understand the pathway of how to get better, because like, oh, I shouldn't have peeked that long lane, or actually like they were just playing this loadout and this loadout was better, so on and so forth. But when I get into Destiny, right? Pull up Destiny and want to do something competitive like Trials of Osiris, not just because of loot incentive, because I do want to challenge myself and get better. The fact that like I literally spawn into the game, get picked automatically, have no clue where in the world I got picked. And again, it's because I got the scorch nades, just a whole plethora of things that for me are not about the gunplay, or not about getting better, not about being in a space where like you can like play at people your own pace. It just felt like I was just getting cheese the whole time. I would spawn, I would just randomly immediately explode, and like all these different things, where it's just like, can I get better at the game and be better? Yes. Can I also like be like everyone else and do like a super cheesy ability spam build? Yes. But for me, I like the experience more that I get in Warzone, right? The experience of like knowing that like I'm learning the different weapons. Again, I'm still fairly new to Warzone, but I'm learning the different weapons. I'm learning that what kit is actually the best for like a support build inside of Warzone, what kit is best for more of aggressive or long range. Are you trying to do mid range? Are you trying to do more of like get picks, team wipes, all the different things, right? And for me, there's an activation that happens in my brain that I really enjoy of being in a space where like I feel like I'm learning. I feel like I'm getting every week that I've played that game. I felt like I've gotten better. Am I gonna be like competing in tournaments tomorrow? No, but the fact is, I have a very clear feeling of progression, and also I'm seeing the progression in terms of, the XP and all the different things of the end credit screens where it shows you like your kill count, all the different things. I can see and compare those screenshots now from when I first started the game and show that I'm getting better, that I'm improving. And as Destiny being my main game, I want that feeling. I want that feeling of being able to improve, but it just feels like so much of the current system and the way that they're doing skill-based matchmaking, loose, quote unquote, loose skill-based matchmaking, the way that they're doing the ranking systems, fire team matchmaking, still as someone like me, I wouldn't say I'm trash because I know I'm not trash, but like your average player looking to be better than average, I just don't feel a clear progression system that's actually going to allow me to get to the place where I feel competitive. I feel like the games I'm in feel challenging enough, but not overly challenging to where I want to engage, to where I want to think more about my build crafting. Right now, I the only way I got to 7 wins, and I'll admit I was that person. The only way I got to 7 wins, the only way I was able to get enough XP, grind it out to rank up to rank 10, because I didn't go flawless, to be able to get the immortal SMG was with a horde. I I'm that person. I'm absolutely a person. We're transparent on this channel. Uh, I was trying out different loadouts. I was trying to figure out different ways to like grind and figure out like, oh, could potentially do like a shotgun build or like is it poles? All these different builds I was trying out. And ultimately, the only thing that got me through was the Arc Buddy build for my warlock, and then with a horde, just because like that was what I was able to be effectively combating the cheese, the ability spam that I was facing. So for me, did I play? Was I one of the people that you probably stomped on and got your flawless card? Sure, whatever, that's fine. But as someone who actually is interested in PvP, and it took me playing other FPS games to know that I actually do like PvP. But the fact is, like, currently sitting here, and again, Bungie is playing some things in the mid-season patch. There's some other changes that are coming up, and hopefully things get better. But as they stand, the way that skill-based matchmaking and fire team-based matchmaking works, it does not incentivize me as an average player, admittedly, to want to, one, get better, and two, to stay in the playlist activity to actually engage. Because I much rather do my pinnacles, do my PvE stuff, the stuff I enjoy, dungeons, we do streams, so follow us on YouTube, we do streaming, we chat, we do all those things. I love those things. That's engaging for my brain. I'd rather do that, cut off stream, cut off the game, and then head to Warzone, where I can equally be mentally engaged and have that stimulus and have an experience where that's enjoyable and challenging for me, than to like trying to force that into the current PvP setup of Destiny 2, where again, the feeling of getting stomped and not figuring out and not having a clear pathway to get better or to just beat people, or just at the basis, like I'm not getting paired up with people who are at my skill level. It doesn't feel like that, right? I know someone's gonna like go and look up my trials report or whatever. Like I'm saying based off of feelings. I at no point have I said I'm the most high skilled player ever. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is like an average player who wants to get better in PvP in Destiny 2. I'm looking at my progression, and even in Apex, I can go back and chart my progression in Apex, like both Apex and Call of Duty Warzone. I have felt very clear progression to getting better with the skill-based matchmaking, with the ranking systems they have in place. I at least know I'm getting better because I have data to say as much. But a game that I've been playing for 7 years, I still can't track or even create a pathway for me to clearly get better at PvP outside of, let me just put on the cheesiest build that I can and ability spam. Yeah, okay. I have other notes here, but I feel like this is getting long at this point. So I'm gonna cut it there. But yeah, those are just some of my thoughts specifically on SBMM. Walking away from trials this past weekend, I was a little disappointed. I was disappointed because like I know I can pinpoint the feeling of wanting to get better at PvP in other games, and I just am struggling to find that feeling inside of Destiny 2. And again, I don't want to give up because I know PvP in general is struggling and has a lot of the PvP community has a lot of pain points that they rightfully so need to get addressed by Bungie. And again, I don't want to enter in the conversation and be like someone who's just not going to help to the conversation. But what I am hopefully trying to offer is like, as someone who primarily plays PvE, someone who wants to improve in PvP, I just don't know what the solution is right now, other than being a part of the crowd who just cheeses everything. And even then, that's not fun to me. That's not engaging to me, and it's something that ultimately, why not go to Apex? Why not go to Warzone? Why not go to another FPS game where I can chart my progression, see where I'm getting better, and ultimately, yes, have fun. Let me know what you all think. Are you enjoying the way that Fireteam matchmaking at SBMM is going in the game right now? Since it's been implemented, what are the things that are top of your mind? Do you think I sound silly? Just let me know in the comments, because I truly, I love this game and I want this game to succeed. I've said that many times. I feel like it's proven in my actions. I want this game and this community to succeed, And yeah, just hoping that the PvP side of the game can improve soon. Hopefully. Let me know what you all think. Peace.